of what the Undertaker talked about. So I have the quote up here.
I feel so wise.
You feel so wise?
Yeah, because everything I've said, Undertaker said.
Undertaker, it was on the 6 Feet Under podcast they were doing, which is his podcast show. They were doing a Q&A, and he was Wrestle Ops. It was Undertaker doesn't know if Tony Khan is the guy to run a wrestling company in hopes that one day AEW will get their crap together. Hopefully one day, I mean, a lot of people don't think the way I do, but one day AEW gets their crap together and genuinely creates some competition. That's probably not a popular take from WWE, most WWE insiders, but the way I look at it, I mean, competition's only going to make you better. I don't think there's a real true leader in that locker room, and I'm not sure. I have nothing against the man. I don't know that Tony is the guy to run the company. His heart's in a good place. He wants to do something, but I just don't know if he has the ability to make good judgments and swift decision making to run a wrestling company against the juggernaut that is WWE. But hey, I could be wrong. Hey, I hope they get it together. It's better for the wrestlers, the fans. It's better for everything. I could not agree more with the competition element, but he does make some valid points.
What I thought was hilarious was the number one comment that I saw underneath that when I saw the tweet at the time was like, "Oh yeah, we should definitely listen to the guy that's like super hardcore WWE." And I'm like, this is coming from an AEW tribalist that is so psychotically brainwashed that they're not even going to listen to a guy as well respected as the Undertaker. Like, come
Yeah.
on. And it's just a dude speaking his opinion. He doesn't own WWE. He doesn't make the calls. He's not on the creative team. He's literally just a random dude in the big scheme of things, a random dude talking about wrestling on a podcast because someone asked him a question. And you're acting like he is like a dictator in wrestling and he's like saying these things. And so you have to take it as like, what he says goes. Like, it's just so moronic to me. Like, it's so embarrassing.
It's
But
so embarrassing, but he makes a lot of valid points.
yeah, and he's been around a lot of wrestling people and wrestling companies and like he's been a leader. And the thing is like the whole leader in the locker room thing is just to try and keep like morality and uh keep cohesion and like a
Yes.
levelness behind the scenes. That's what he's talking about because we're the whole leader of the locker room thing has been getting a bad rap like the past couple months because of the Punk drama and whatever, but he's not wrong. But the problem
No.
is like
Yeah.
as he said, is just how Tony conducts himself and how he's trying to be so different from WWE that's why he's like, oh yeah, everybody's in control of their own thing. They can do whatever they want. We don't really have a creative team. Like you can just do this and do that. Like it's because he's making everybody just like glorified indie stars that can like do whatever it is that they please. That's the reason why there's so much chaos or why there's no fluidity with the shows. Like it's simple things that he could change, and it's basically what the Undertaker's saying. There's simple things that you can change that will benefit you, your wrestlers, the company, and your product in general. But it's as he says, like Tony doesn't have the right people around him, as we've said, and I've said a million times. He doesn't have the right people around him. He has yes men around him, or he has nobody around him. It is all on him to be making these decisions, and that's why these things are happening that are not good, because he just doesn't have the right people in place. But
He doesn't, and that's one thing I will say that now that I don't think he is there. I think he is in Jacksonville, at least at the shows. And the new EVP segment of what they're doing with Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. So sorry, they in the Okada, the Elite now. It's a really good start to some sort of overarching story to a show. Like it feels like for a while it was just a bunch of matches on a card with the only stories are the people feuding. Like there's no bigger story to it. There's no real A story. And with AEW now, it's clear that there is an A story and a B story, and the other stuff is just the matches. And I like the one issue I do have with it is the Christopher Daniels now is an interim EVP. Just call him a general manager. Call him something. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
when you do that, it puts him on the level of, you know, the Young Bucks and the Elite. And then also it blurs the line too. It's like, wait, but he also rests like he's not an authority figure. He's just, you know what he is. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like he's like I can't get behind it, but the start of it is there from what I have been watching, and I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit more. Like they're getting the Acclaimed involved. You know, Swerve. It seems like Swerve Strickland is going to be part of the Blood and Guts match that they teased a little bit. It's just I think they're in a good direction, and there's a lot of great talent in AEW. But they do need a direction. It's just they don't have it right now.